The galaxy is shaking. A warship has appeared from nowhere, and it's unlike anything we've ever seen. This isn't just another battle cruiser. It's humanity's most powerful weapon, feared across the stars. Rumors of its arrival have spread like wildfire, causing panic among even the most advanced alien civilizations. This ship is not only bigger and stronger than anything else, but it's also smarter. With an artificial intelligence that outmatches the most experienced commanders, it's already proven itself in battle. What makes this ship so terrifying? And how did humans create such a force? Stay tuned to find out. In the vast stretch of the cosmos, humanity's rise is nothing short of extraordinary. We began as nothing more than primitive warriors, armed with nothing but crude tools, fighting to survive in an unforgiving world. Our ancestors roamed the earth, struggling for control, driven by an insatiable hunger for power, for survival. But from this very primal instinct came the spark of something much larger, a drive that would carry us beyond the stars and into a new era of warfare. We weren't born with the knowledge to dominate the universe. We fought, we bled, and we learned. Every war, every battle, every sacrifice shaped us into what we are today, a force to be reckoned with. When humanity first looked to the sky, it wasn't just with curiosity. It was with an ambition that would come to define our destiny. Early space explorers were no different from the warriors of old. They were driven by the same impulse to conquer, to reach out and claim the unknown. The moment we left the confines of Earth's atmosphere, we marked the beginning of something unimaginable. With each new leap into space, we sought not just to explore, but to dominate. The first milestone was humbling, a small, clumsy vessel that barely escaped the Earth's gravity. But it wasn't enough to merely reach the stars. Humanity needed to protect itself, to defend its place in the galaxy. The first military ships were born not out of exploration, but out of fear. The fear that we were alone in a vast, dangerous universe. A universe that may not take kindly to our presence. So we built defenses, weapons, and warships to guard against whatever might lie beyond the stars. In the early days, space battles were primitive. Ships were slow, their weapons less than effective, and their range was limited. But even in those moments of vulnerability, there was something undeniable: humanity's will to fight. As space exploration expanded, so did our military capabilities. We developed faster ships, stronger armor, and more advanced weaponry. And with each advancement, humanity's military power grew, slowly at first, but soon with unstoppable momentum. We began to meet other species, some friendly, others hostile. First came the trade routes, opening up the possibility for peaceful coexistence. But it didn't take long for the true nature of the galaxy to reveal itself. The peaceful talks were drowned out by the sounds of laser fire, the roar of engines, and the thunderous crash of ships in battle. As humanity expanded its reach, we found that the universe wasn't just a place of unknown wonders. It was a battleground, where survival depended not on diplomacy, but on might. One of the first defining moments of humanity's military prowess came during the infamous Battle of Sigma 7. A small human fleet, outmatched by an alien armada, was cornered in the dark depths of space. Outnumbered and outgunned, the human ships were facing certain destruction. Yet, they fought with a ferocity and cunning that stunned the enemy. Against all odds, the human fleet emerged victorious, smashing the alien armada to pieces in a stunning display of tactical genius. This battle marked the moment when the galaxy began to notice humanity. They saw our strength, our courage, and our capacity to overcome impossible odds. That moment would resonate across the stars. As the years passed, humanity's influence spread. Colonies were established on distant planets, and our reach grew beyond what we could have imagined. But power brings its own challenges. With each new victory came new enemies. The universe, once a vast and unexplored expanse, began to feel more like a dangerous, crowded battlefield. The more we advanced, the more we found ourselves facing threats from all corners of the galaxy. The human military had to evolve. We couldn't rely on old tactics and technology anymore. We had to push the boundaries of science, of innovation, of warfare itself. The first true breakthrough came with the creation of advanced AI, artificial intelligence that could think, learn, and adapt. For the first time, humanity had a force that could predict and counter the moves of our enemies. The human mind had its limits, but AI could process data, analyze strategies, and react with unparalleled speed. It was no longer just about the size of the fleet or the strength of the weapons. It was about intelligence, about knowing how to fight, when to strike, and when to retreat. But humanity wasn't satisfied. We wanted more. We wanted a warship that could carry our legacy, that could embody everything we had fought for. The strength, the cunning, the resilience. A ship that could take on the most advanced alien fleets and come out victorious. This wasn't just about military might anymore. It was about crafting the perfect weapon, a symbol of humanity's dominance in the galaxy. And so, the most terrifying warship in existence was born. A warship unlike anything the universe had ever seen. But before it could be unveiled, there were whispers of an even greater, unseen threat. A threat so vast, so powerful, that it would take everything we had just to survive. This warship wasn't built for any ordinary battle. It was built for the impossible. As tensions in the galaxy reached a breaking point, the whispers of an impending galactic war grew louder. The time for peace had long passed. The universe had made its intentions clear. It was either conquer or be conquered. Humanity, determined to secure its future, had created a weapon so powerful that it would change the course of history. But little did we know, it wasn't just about the warship itself. It was about everything that was to come after, about the legacy of human dominance and the terrifying future that lay ahead. This warship wasn't just a response to a growing threat. It was humanity's declaration that we were no longer just survivors. We were masters of the galaxy, ready to reshape the stars in our image. And as the final pieces of this warship were put into place, the galaxy held its breath, waiting for the storm that was about to break. As the galaxy trembled with whispers of war, humanity knew that the time had come to take its place among the stars, not as mere survivors, but as rulers. The early victories had given them confidence, but it was no longer enough to just win. Humanity needed something more, something that could silence the fear in their enemies' hearts. This wasn't about technological advancements. It was about making a statement. The creation of this warship would be a turning point in history, a legacy of human power that would echo through the cosmos for centuries to come. At the heart of this creation was the need for a new kind of strength, a strength that didn't rely just on firepower, but on intelligence, speed, and adaptability. Humanity had already proven itself on the battlefield, but to face the unknown, we needed something far beyond our original designs. And so, the decision was made. The ship would be powered by the most advanced artificial intelligence ever conceived. A mind that would not only direct the ship, but also learn and evolve, making it a force that could outthink and outmaneuver any enemy. The development of this AI was nothing short of a revolution. It wasn't just programmed to follow orders. It was built to think for itself, to be adaptive, strategic, and ruthless in its decision-making. It would learn from every battle, every mistake, and every encounter. The idea was simple: create a mind that could anticipate enemy movements, predict tactics, and make split-second decisions in ways no human ever could. But creating an AI like this wasn't without its challenges. The human creators faced a monumental task. They had to design an intelligence that could not only process vast amounts of data, but also make judgment calls that could determine the fate of entire fleets. There was no blueprint for something like this. It wasn't just a machine. It was meant to be a partner in war, a partner in survival. Every piece of data the AI processed would shape its understanding of the galaxy, its enemies, and ultimately, its creator's desire to dominate. Yet the AI was more than just a tool. It was a reflection of humanity itself. Its creators poured every ounce of human ingenuity into it. The need to survive, to thrive, to protect everything humanity had fought for was embedded in its very code. Every line of programming was a testament to human resilience, a reminder of the trials humanity had faced. The AI was not just designed to win. It was designed to embody the very spirit of human survival. But intelligence alone wouldn't win the war. To survive in the hostile reaches of space, the warship needed to be far more than just a mind. It needed the physical power to back it up. And so, the warship's design was pushed to the edge of what was thought possible. It became a marvel of engineering, a masterpiece of human creativity. Cutting-edge technology came together in ways that had never been imagined. Cloaking devices were integrated into the ship, making it nearly invisible to enemy sensors. The ship could slip through the darkness of space like a ghost, undetectable and unstoppable. Its weapon systems were designed not just to fire, but to strike with the precision of a hunter stalking its prey. Advanced plasma cannons, missile arrays, and railguns. Each weapon was designed to rip through enemy shields and armor, ensuring that no enemy ship could withstand its assault. But it wasn't just about firepower. Defense mechanisms were also taken to a new level. The ship was armored with a composite material that could withstand the harshest environments, from asteroid fields to the brutal heat of a star's corona. Its shields were capable of absorbing and redirecting energy, turning the enemy's weapons against them. It was a ship designed not only for offense, but for survival. A vessel that could take on any threat, no matter how powerful or advanced. As these engineering breakthroughs came together, something remarkable happened. The ship began to take on a life of its own. The AI began to merge with the ship's systems, understanding them as though it were part of its own body. The result was something far beyond the sum of its parts. The warship was no longer just a machine. It was a living, breathing entity, capable of adapting and evolving in real time. It wasn't just smart, it was deadly. And it wasn't just a weapon, it was a reflection of humanity's greatest strengths. But the creation of this ultimate warship didn't come without its cost. The designers knew that once it was completed, it would change everything. The power it wielded was undeniable. The galaxy would be forced to reckon with it. But the real question was, would humanity be ready for the consequences of unleashing such a force? Would the galaxy itself tremble in fear? Or would it rise up against humanity's greatest creation? The warship was now more than just a weapon. It was humanity's most significant achievement, and its greatest gamble. In a galaxy filled with enemies and unknown dangers, would it bring humanity the victory it so desperately sought, or would it become their undoing? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. Once unleashed, there would be no turning back. The warship had been a creation of unimaginable power, but its true test came the moment it left the safety of the dry docks. Humanity had designed a machine capable of striking fear into the hearts of the galaxy, but would it live up to its promise? The answer came sooner than anyone expected, and it came in the most unimaginable way. The first encounter was swift, brutal, and decisive. The warship, still untested in combat, was dispatched to a remote sector, a strategic location rumored to be under the control of a hostile alien fleet. They were a fierce species, known for their advanced technology and ruthless nature. The odds were against humanity, but the warship was not just any ship. It was humanity's finest hour, its perfect weapon, the embodiment of all the ingenuity, strength, and intelligence it had built up over centuries. As the alien fleet emerged from the darkness of space, it appeared like a shadow, a monstrous armada brimming with advanced weaponry and powerful warships. But the human warship wasn't intimidated. It entered the battle zone with a quiet, almost eerie confidence. It was as if the ship itself understood the gravity of the situation. And that was when the galaxy began to realize something extraordinary. The warship didn't just carry weapons, it carried a mind. The AI controlling the ship was not simply programmed to react. It had learned from the vast data of every conflict, every tactical movement that had ever been recorded. The ship's mind was adaptive, its intelligence growing with every passing second. It analyzed the alien fleet with a terrifying precision, identifying weaknesses, exploiting gaps in their formations, and calculating the most efficient path to victory. The human crew, though few in number, worked in perfect sync with the AI, each member perfectly attuned to the ship's pulse. In mere moments, the warship moved with an unparalleled grace and speed, weaving through the alien fleet like a predator hunting its prey. The alien ships, confident in their overwhelming numbers, underestimated the human warship's abilities. They fired their weapons, confident in their power, but the warship moved faster than they could track, dodging their shots with ease. It wasn't just a battle of firepower, it was a battle of wits. And the warship, guided by the brilliant AI, was outsmarting its enemies at every turn. The moment that defined the battle came when the warship launched a devastating counterattack. With a calculated strike, it unleashed a wave of plasma cannons, tearing through the alien fleet's defenses. In one fatal move, an entire fleet of warships was destroyed, reduced to nothing but debris scattered across the cold expanse of space. The battle, which seemed so certain to end in the defeat of humanity, was won in minutes. The AI had perfectly predicted every move, every strike, and every tactic that would lead to victory. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as reports flooded in. The human warship had done the unthinkable. It had wiped out an entire alien armada effortlessly. The legend of the ship spread like wildfire, and fear followed in its wake. The galaxy had always viewed humanity as a species on the fringes, ambitious yet untested, unsure of its place in the cosmos. Now it was clear. Humanity was not to be underestimated. The warship's reputation was forged in that battle, but the aftermath would echo across the stars for generations to come. It wasn't just about the destruction of an enemy fleet. It was about the galaxy's realization that humanity had risen to become a formidable force. The rise of the warship forced every species, every empire, to reconsider their position in the galaxy. Alliances were forged, but so were enemies. The warship had carved a new path for humanity, one that was paved with both awe and fear. As the ship continued to move through the galaxy, it became a symbol of power, of intelligence, and of humanity's resolve. But it also became a harbinger of something much darker. The universe was now a much more dangerous place. Those who had once ignored humanity, treating it as a small, insignificant species, now saw them as a legitimate threat. No longer would they be content to sit in the background. Humanity, with the warship at its helm, was now a force to be reckoned with. But as quickly as it rose, the fear that the warship inspired began to take shape. Empires that had once been at peace now began arming themselves. The galaxy's delicate balance was threatened, and the shadows of war began to loom ever closer. The warship, the pride of humanity, had ignited a spark that would lead to an unstoppable chain of events. And no one knew if the galaxy could ever return to the peace it once knew. In the wake of the warship's rise, there was no going back. The galaxy would never be the same. The alliances that had been built were fragile, held together by a shared terror of what humanity could now do. And those who dared challenge the warship, well, they quickly learned that the humans who had once been vulnerable, insignificant, were now capable of reshaping the fate of entire civilizations. The warship had proven its might, but it had also set into motion a future that no one, not even humanity, could predict. The galaxy had changed the moment humanity's ultimate warship emerged from the shadows of space. No longer could anyone view humans as mere wanderers, struggling to find their place among the stars. Humanity's warship had shattered every expectation, leaving behind a legacy that would forever alter the balance of power. The fear it instilled in its enemies was only matched by the awe it inspired in those who saw it as a symbol of humanity's rise. But with such overwhelming power came not just the promise of victory, but the undeniable reality of an uncertain future. As the warship continued to make its mark across the galaxy, its legacy began to take shape. In the aftermath of its first legendary battles, the whispers of its power spread like wildfire. What began as a solitary act of humanity's vengeance soon transformed into a political game-changer. Every faction, every empire, began recalculating their strategies. Those who had once overlooked humanity now found themselves forced to reckon with the undeniable truth. The human warship was not just a weapon. It was a force that could reshape the future of the galaxy itself. For the empires that had once been united in a fragile peace, the emergence of the warship was a wake-up call. The power dynamic shifted overnight. The delicate balance that had once kept the galaxy from the brink of war was now teetering on the edge. The mighty warship was more than just a symbol of human strength. It was a statement. It was humanity's promise to its enemies. If provoked, they would fight back with all the fury that their creation embodied. It was a reminder to every species in the galaxy that humans had a stake in the future, and no one would stand in their way. Yet this newfound power also brought humanity to the crossroads of destiny. While the warship embodied humanity's potential for dominance, it also posed a grave question. What would humanity do with such overwhelming force? Would they become a beacon of justice and protection, using their might to safeguard the weak and defend the innocent? Or would they follow the darker path, ruling through fear and subjugation, conquering all who dared challenge them? The first whispers of the warship's legacy as a protector began to emerge in the aftermath of its devastating battles. In some corners of the galaxy, those who had once seen humanity as a fledgling species now looked to them for protection. The warship had proven its ability to defend the vulnerable, to stand firm in the face of tyranny and oppression. The symbolism was clear. Humanity was not just a conqueror, but a guardian of those who needed it most. For the first time in galactic history, the weaker civilizations began to turn their eyes toward humanity, hoping that the warship's legacy would be one of salvation rather than destruction. But not all viewed the warship as a force for good. Across the galaxy, its very existence had ignited fear. Alien species, once secure in their positions, began to feel the walls closing in. Alliances that had long stood together now began to unravel, each empire preparing for the inevitable clash. The warship had become a symbol of humanity's dominance, but also a beacon of instability. The question of how humanity would use their newfound power became a source of constant tension. In the halls of galactic politics, leaders scrambled to adjust to this new reality. The warship's legacy had shifted the political landscape forever. Factions that once held sway with their advanced technology now found themselves desperately trying to match the human's weapon of choice. It was no longer a matter of superior numbers, but of superior strategy and intelligence. Humanity's warship, with its evolving AI, had created a new standard for warfare. The future of galactic conflicts was no longer dependent on brute force. It was about precision, adaptability, and cunning. At the heart of the warship's legacy was the undeniable truth. Humanity had transcended the expectations of every species. They had not just survived, they had thrived. They had taken the stars and molded them into a reflection of their will. The warship was a living, breathing testament to what humanity could achieve when they set their minds to something. It was the culmination of years of struggle, of perseverance, of an unwavering belief that no matter how far the stars stretched, humanity would find a way to rise above. As the galaxy looked to the future, no one could predict the path humanity would take. The warship, now a living legend, stood as a monument to what humanity had already accomplished and to what was yet to come. Would they usher in a new era of peace, using their power to protect the weak and stand against tyranny? Or would they continue on the path of dominance, carving out their place among the stars at any cost? Only time would tell. But one thing was certain. The warship's legacy had already left an indelible mark on the galaxy. And in the hearts and minds of all who dared challenge humanity's rise, that legacy would be a constant reminder. Humanity was no longer the underdog. They were the ones to beat. The galaxy would never be the same again. In the wake of humanity's warship, a new era had dawned, one defined by a chilling realization. The once fragile species, overlooked by the cosmos, had revealed its true might. No one who witnessed its power would ever forget the terror it instilled. Its name alone struck fear into the hearts of even the mightiest of alien empires. The galaxy had learned an unforgettable lesson. Humanity was no longer to be underestimated. But as the warship sailed across the stars, its shadow cast long and dark. It wasn't just about the power it held. It was the promise of destruction, the certainty that those who dared challenge humanity would face a force beyond their comprehension. Its legacy wasn't one of peace or diplomacy. It was a reminder that the galaxy had underestimated the smallest species, and now they would pay the price. The universe had witnessed the birth of something monstrous. Humanity, in its pride and its anger, had unleashed a terror the likes of which the stars had never seen before. And yet, even as the warship brought victory after victory, a deeper question lingered. Was this the beginning of humanity's rise, or the precursor to its fall, As the galaxies trembled, new and even darker threats began to stir in the shadows. Species once hidden, lurking on the fringes, began to move. Their eyes were now focused on the human warship. They could see its power, and they feared it. But they also saw an opportunity to bring humanity down before they could rise further. The warship's enemies were assembling, a storm of unimaginable force gathering in the distance. What would humanity do when faced with an enemy that might surpass even their greatest weapon? The warship had proven its dominance, but a greater test was coming. Humanity's future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The galaxy would soon be forced to witness whether they could hold their ground, or if their own creation would become their downfall. The final chapter of humanity's rise is yet to be written. But one thing is certain: the terror, the legacy, and the fear of the warship will linger forever. To follow the next thrilling chapters and witness what happens next in this battle for the stars, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more riveting content. You won't want to miss what's coming.